Hold up.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. Now today we are doing a review on the Makeup Revolution Fortune Favours palettes. So I've used this palette in a previous video before, but I only really used like one or two colours out of it and I didn't really give it a fair test. So I thought today I want to sit down and see how the colours perform on my eyes. This palette was actually created by a British beauty blogger. Now I'm not sure who the blogger is, but it does say it on the palette. You get 30 eyeshadows and most of the shadows look like they are baked shadows, and you do get neutral shades and then more smoky shades. So I don't know what kind of look I want to do today, so we're just going to wing it and just see how we get on. First things first, I'm just going to take some translucent powder and just place it under my eyes because I don't want there to be any fallout, as I have done my base off camera. I'm just going to place just a little bit under my eyes. So if I do get any fallout, the powder catches any of the darker shades and then I can just easily dust it off. Let's move on to the transition shade. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know what kind of look I want to go for, but I want to do something different. So I'm thinking more like olive tones, like in my crease, and then let's go for like a blue kind of lid shade. I think that's what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this olive kind of green shade, this shade here, and I'm just going to pick up a fluffy brush and make sure I tap off any of the excess. Now you do get quite a bit of kickback from this palette. I'm just going to start to blend that into the crease. When I used this palette before, I don't really remember how the colours performed, so I'll be able to tell from obviously using them now. This olive colour, it is actually going down pretty nicely. It's blending out nice as well, and I'm not getting any trouble blending the shadow. The shade is showing up on the eyelid as well. It looks a lot darker on the eye than it does in the pan. I'm all about like testing drugstore and high-end products, even though I prefer high-end products, but I feel like shadows these days, especially from drugstores, have become the new big thing, if you get what I mean. Basically what I'm trying to say is they have really upped their game, and back in the days their shadows weren't as great. So if you were to buy products back when I was like 16, 17, the shadows were just not great, so it was always better to go to high-end products and maybe get eyeshadows from, say for example, MAC. And I feel like nowadays drugstore eyeshadows perform a lot better. Now I have tested out obviously high-end, but sometimes drugstore shadows, their formula is a lot more creamy, and I'm all about trying out high-end and low-end products. But right now, like, I'm loving like low-end eyeshadows and high-end like face products. Now that I've placed that olive shade in my crease, I want to go in with like a darker colour just to deepen it up a little bit. I'm going to take this shade here, tap off the excess, and then place that on my outer corner, and then take it towards the crease as well. So far so good. The shadows are quite pigmented. This one seems slightly patchy, but it's picking up a lot of product. So I'm taking it like halfway. Can anyone recommend any Netflix series to watch? Because I have run out of programs. I really don't know what to watch right now. Like, I was watching Riverdale and that really got boring after a while. Like, I felt like the storyline was just dragging on. I'm just taking a fluffy brush and just going to blend that out. So yeah, I was saying I just felt like it was just dragging on and I was just getting fed up with it, so I've just stopped watching it. So I want to watch something interesting. I watched another one called You. A lot of people were going on about it, and it's about like a man. I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's about a man and how he becomes obsessed with this girl and is always stalking her on social media. So that was really good, but that only had like 10 episodes and there was only like one series, and I finished it within like a couple of days. So yeah, if you do know any good programs that are out, it doesn't even have to be on Netflix, anything really, just let me know. So I posted like a hair tutorial on Instagram and everyone loved it. Like everyone kept saying to me they want to see more. So if I have time today, I might just sit down after this and do like a hair tutorial. I don't know on what, but a lot of people did say they want to see how I do my braids on my hair. If I don't do it today, I will film on Wednesdays because I normally film on a Monday, a Wednesday or a Thursday because they're the days my son goes to nursery and I get peace and quiet at home. I could potentially film whilst he's here, but only like Instagram tutorials, not talk through, because he would literally sit next to me and have his iPad or his toys and just make so much noise, and it completely distracts me and it would just distract you as well. I've done like a blue look on Instagram, so now I'm thinking I should steer away from the blue and maybe just stick to like more the olivey kind of tones and maybe purple tones. So what I might do is I'm going to take like this, so this shade here, I'm just going to place that in the middle of my eye. Okay, that tone's quite mucky, like maybe that was a mistake because it looks so dark. Oh god, that is so dark, and it looks really patchy as well. I did not expect it to be that dark. I should have swatched it. Right, I think I've just ruined this. Right, I think we're gonna have to try something else. It looks so mucky on the eyelids. I don't know if I could just go in with concealer and kind of conceal that colour. Maybe we should try it and see how it goes. I'm going to pick up that Suede concealer and just dab a little bit on top of it. This could be like a new tip to get rid of any mistakes that you make on the eyelid, or it could go horribly wrong and just be a mucky mess. It's actually working. Oh my god, it actually worked. I thought it was going to be a complete disaster and just muck up the whole shadow, but it's actually worked. I'm pleasantly surprised. Okay guys, so that actually worked. So if you ever mess up and make a mistake on your eyelids and you need to get rid of a specific shadow, whether it's a dark shadow, you could always just place concealer on top and no one will ever know. I'm going to go in with the Beauty Bay Berry Matte palette, and I'm going to take the shade Room for Dessert, which is this shade here, and I'm just going to place that on top of the concealer just to set it in place. So I actually wasn't going to film today. I was just feeling really like under the weather. I think it's this weather in London as well. It just completely depresses you. And it's not that I wasn't motivated or anything. Like, I'm always motivated to sit down and film. I was just feeling so exhausted and just like fed up of doing the same stuff every single day. And then eventually I got up and I sorted my horrific hair out and just did my base and thought, you know what, no, I'm going to get up, I'm going to be productive, I'm going to be productive and film for you. Now that I have set that colour in place, so I think we're going to go in with this shade here. Now this is a baked shadow and it's got like this like, it's got like gold and pink kind of reflective colours in it, if that makes sense. So if I just swatch that, if I pick it up on my finger, that's what it looks like. You don't really see the goldy pink colour once it's transferred onto the finger. See, these shadows are pigmented, but I feel like that purple that I picked up was just really mucky. But the other shades that I've used so far, like, they're picking up quite nicely and transferring onto the eyelid really nice as well. I'm not having any problems like picking up the product and really being able to see it on the eyelid. I'm going to dip back into that olive shade that I used as a transition, and I'm going to place that in between those two colours, so in between that silver and the dark green shade, just to help blend out the edges. Okay, so I'm just going to take the dark green shade that I placed on my outer corners and I'm going to run that on my lower lash line. So that's the eyes done. I thought I would go in with this kind of dark blue shade here. and this is a matte shade, and I'm going to use that to kind of smoke out the lash line. So I'm really going quite close to the lash line and creating like as if you would apply eyeliner. So you want to take the liner, well, the shadow, towards like the tail of your brow, and then I'm going to go in with the fluffy brush just to kind of clean up the edges, just so that it doesn't look like this block of colour on the edge. To highlight, I think I'm going to pick up this shade here. Just going to place that in my inner corner. I just feel like the shimmer shades are really chalky. I don't know, it's not, I'm not liking it. So I'm just going to finish up the rest of my eyes. What I'm going to do is just stick on some lashes, place some gel liner in my waterline. So I usually use the Inglot gel liner in the shade 77. Place that in my waterline, and then we will come back and finish off the rest of the face. Right guys, so I've just finished off my eyes. I've already contoured. For blush, I'm just going to go in with this Anastasia Beverly Hills blush trio. This palette in particular is called Pink Passion. I'm going to go in with this shade here. Now I know you shouldn't use liquid on top of powder because it just doesn't work. But last time when I used the Makeup Revolution highlighter drops, it just worked perfectly for me. I feel like the highlighter stood out a lot more better than it did underneath a powder, if you get me. So it looked better on top of the powder rather than placing it on before you place any powder on your face. I'm going in with the Benefit liquid drops. I'm just going to do about 3 dots. Now for lips, I've actually got lip balm on my lips, which I normally just place Carmix on my lips, so I'm just going to wipe that off. So I actually went into Westfield Stratford the other day, and I went into the NYX shop, and I was so tempted to buy like loads of stuff, but I actually controlled myself. But I came across like 2 lip liners that were actually really pretty, and a lipstick that I actually want to test out if I can get it bloody open. So this is a waterproof lip liner. It's the NYX one, and it is in the shade Beyond Nude. So for lipstick, I'm going in with the NYX Suede matte lipstick. So this is in the shade Peach Don't Kill My Vibe. Okay, now last thing, I am just going to go in with the Makeup Revolution Fixing Spray. So this here. And we are completely done. Okay guys, so this is the completed look. Unfortunately, I wasn't too impressed with the palette. Like, it did the job, don't get me wrong. It was a decent palette to work with, especially the matte shades. However, the baked shades were not as great as I thought as they would be. They were too chalky and just not creamy enough. Like, it just didn't do it for me. I just expected there to be more colour and I just expected it to be a bit more bright, and it just did not exceed my expectations. But considering it is like a cheap palette, like you can't go wrong. Like, it did the job. My eyeshadow looks okay. It's not like it was the worst palette in the world, because it wasn't. It was actually pretty decent in comparison to a lot of other like drugstore palettes, but baked shadows just generally they're not really that pigmented. However, the NYX lipstick, I am so impressed with it. Like, so creamy. It doesn't even feel like I've got anything on the lips. The lip liner is just as good. It's only £4 and it's done such a good job. It glided onto my lips so nicely. Like, I didn't have to kind of, you know, rub it against my lips to get some colour payoff. Really just did the job. It doesn't feel drying. It is slightly transferring onto my fingers, but not a lot. I have ate with this lipstick and it's not like, so I took a break before I came back to film. Like, it's not really like worn off. It's holding up quite good and I'm loving the colour. I will leave all the details to all the products I use down below as always. Guys, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe before you leave, and hopefully I will catch you in my next video. Take care and enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you very soon. Bye!